This was one of the first physical art pieces I recorded myself drawing. I did not know how to keep the piece in place underneath the camera, and I couldn't see the camera. So by the end it will be sliding out of shot, but you can still see most of it. This was part of a series of 5. This one did not make the cut. It didn't make the cut because it was not as in line with the rest of the designs that were picked. It's still a good design, it just wasn't what was needed by the end. This is the second iteration of this design because the first one was overworked and I knew it. I had so many ideas for it and I kept getting more ideas as I went on, and I incorporated them all and it just became a huge mess. The series of creatures I was doing was creatures based on carnivorous plants. This one is the wide-leaf cape sundew. After using basically every idea I had in the first image, unfortunately and regretfully, I was feeling very out of ideas at this point, so I'm going to throw it back.
Armadillos. That's another one that's fun. If you cannot think of enough inspiration, go
Filthin.
find some. I've had this book since I was little.
I started with a shape that reminded me of an anteater because I'd only seen close-ups of sundews that are like the curled up leaf, and then after I had researched it I learned they had flowers. I didn't know they were flowering, and I liked the way the flower looked, kind of like a tongue or a lure, and I wanted to incorporate both of those things. By this point in the process I had seen a full sundew, the full plant, but I wanted to incorporate the things that had inspired me to want to do this plant most first. So my base inspiration was an anteater. Like I said, I thought the flower looked kind of like a tongue or a lure, and I thought an anteater could work with that. Going through my mammals book, I found a lot that I found inspiring, but the ones I ended up going with were armadillos and like porcupines, because I wanted the sundew stalks to still be part of it, so porcupines became part of the design as well. Because none of these animals live near me, I spent a lot of time looking at photos to see how their body parts connect, like how armadillo armor connects to the rest of its body, or how the tail of a anteater works. But one thing I found that I found horrifying, and I know other people find cute because they said so, is the pink fairy armadillo. It weirds me out. Very uncanny valley. Besides the point, no. You will see I wrote at the top wide-leaf cape sundew. Turns out people breed sundews, strains of them. So the wide-leaf cape sundew is thin at the bottom and has a wide leaf, shockingly. They were not the most interesting looking sundews I found, but they were the ones that were the most interesting that I thought I could do something reasonable with. And when I start incorporating more parts of the sundew, you will kind of see what I mean there, I think. The spines on the back of the creature coming out through the band are supposed to be sundew stalks. I just put them down very quickly. This is more a sketch than a finished piece. So those are sundew stalks in purpose, though they do not look it right now. I might do a more complete piece of this, I might not. I'm not sure. This is just kind of the creation of it. The original intent of this set was 5 completed images with 5 completed creatures interacting with their background, with their environment, that sort of thing. That 5 got cut down to 3, and this one did not make the cut, as I said. So I only ever got through the character design part of this creature, but I do very much like it. And the people I made it for liked it too. It just didn't fit with the theme of the other 3 as well. And neither did the other one that got cut, which I did not like as much, so I wasn't so bothered by that one being cut. But this one just didn't quite fit with the feel of the 3 that were picked, and so it did not make the cut for that reason, though I do quite like it. And I might do something with it on my own. Trying to get what looks like something that looked like an anteater's tail coming out of the band of an armadillo was a little bit difficult, and I had to question my anatomy skills. Animal anatomy is not one of my high-level skills. It is something I'm okay at, but not deeply proficient in. And ultimately, I said it's a fantasy creature. I can have it come out of the band of the armadillo if I want to. Also, the pink fairy armadillo exists. It can't be worse than that. So I cut out a bit where I was working mostly on the feet and bands, the stalks coming out of the bands that you just couldn't see at all. But I have moved it back into frame like a less silly human who is trying to pretend they understand how filming works, because this was like the second one I did or something. Maybe the third? I don't know. This was one of the very first ones I filmed. And I didn't know if I was even going to put it up because it was for a project for someone else, so I wasn't super concerned about it. I gave it fur under its neck and its belly because I wanted it to look furrier and more mammalian, which was why it didn't get picked. Actually, my other ones looked more tentacly and less mammalian, and so even though this one was light, it did not fit the tentacle, snail, squid vibe. So the reason I thought the wide leaf Cape Sundew worked so well was because having the wide leaves I thought balanced well with the flower. So wide leaf Cape Sundews do have just leaves that are not stalks, that don't have stalks coming from them, but I also thought the large kind of cupped stalks worked well to balance out the flower, and I thought it looked nice and I quite liked it. I didn't really know how to do the stalks, so I just kind of stippled them, shook the camera a lot as I did it, I'm sorry. I liked the idea of it looking like it could perhaps grab something or swat something in a way a thicker tentacle might have trouble with, so I thought it worked really well, not just because it balanced, but because it looked like it would do what I wanted the creature to do. Sometimes I try and make my creatures look like they would be functional, and in this case I really didn't with the body, but I wanted to with the plant, because I don't know how that body functions, but there we go.